episode of Off the Script, number 160, part number 1 for your Friday, March 10th, 2017! I got news on how long WrestleMania 33 is gonna be this year. After last year, I expect WWE to put us to sleep even fucking longer this year for WrestleMania in Orlando. We'll talk about that, as well as what the card is looking like after this week's Raw and Smackdown. Also, Edge responds to critics saying Beth Phoenix is going into the WWE Hall of Fame too soon. Also, reason why Braun Strowman backed away from The Undertaker on Monday Night Raw. Also, Sami Zayn gives his thoughts on part-timers taking spots up at WrestleMania. Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental Championship is more than likely going to happen at WrestleMania. But what type of stipulation will their match be in Orlando? Also, we got news, if my fucking computer works, we got news on Daniel Bryan with comments he made on Talking Smack. Is he gonna get back in the ring in 2018? And finally, we got rumors on a new format for the WWE Draft in 2017. All this, plus so much more, right here on Off the Script.
JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script.
So, a little bit more than a week ago, I was given the question of, do you want a new theme song? Justin Bailey actually reached out to me about a week and a half ago. Do you want a new theme song, bro? You think it's time for a new theme? I'm like, I don't know, man. I think a new theme would be good. But I listened back to this theme, and it's just so fucking iconic, man. Everybody loves this theme. Most of you do. The goons don't like it, but I like it. As long as I like it, as long as the majority of my audience likes it, it's here to stay. But the question was posed to me. Do you want a new theme? Now, if you guys don't know who Justin Bailey is, he is the host of the Best There Is podcast. I'm going to leave you his link to his channel down in the description below. He covers Raw, he covers Smackdowns, he covers pay-per-views, he covers even retro Raw and WCW Nitro. So go check him out. Good stuff. And I am conflicted about whether or not I want a new theme. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Do you want the current theme to stay, or do you want a new theme created by Justin Bailey? I'm going to leave you guys a poll in the video. All you got to do is vote yes or vote no. Simple as that. Let me know. I'll calculate the fucking totals at the end of the weekend. We'll see what Justin says, and we'll just take it from there. But if you guys want a new theme, sound off in the poll within the video. As far as the video, this is Off the Script, episode number 160, part number 1 for March 10th, 2017. I am, of course, the man of the hour who is finally here to kickstart your fucking weekends, man. I am JD. Thank you guys for watching Off the Script. This weekend, We got a lot of stuff to go over. It's part 1, so you guys know the deal about part 1, man. There's a lot of stuff going into part 1. This is more than just a podcast, bro. This is a celebration of the beginning, the start of your weekends. I don't know what's going on with me this week, man, personally. I know you guys, you send me personal stories via the sub-stories, and you guys email me your thoughts and how important the show is to you, man. I don't know what's going on with me this week. I got my new computer set up. It's fucking fantastic. If I could show you guys, I would. It's beautiful. It's quick. It's quiet as a fucking mouse, man. You don't even know the goddamn thing is on. That's what I wanted. That's what I built. And it's fucking great. Hopefully this thing lasts me a very, very, very long time. But the computer's getting a lot of work done for the channel. And I'm putting a lot of work into the channel. And I'm putting a lot of work into eating right and getting my diet right so that I don't fucking overindulge on shit food. I've been doing a good job. I kind of fell off a little bit this week because of situations at work. And I was forced to fucking, just eat junk food for one day at lunch. I had Chipotle, It's tough for me to resist Chipotle, man. It's just so fucking good. I love their chorizo. But I had no choice, man, because people, being in and around that fucking environment, it's absolutely fucking cancerous for me. It's cancerous for my mind, and it's cancerous for my body, because I feel like when I'm at work, I'm actually doing more harm to my body than good. When I'm home, I can cook myself a nice home-cooked meal, chicken, vegetables, this and that. I could limit my portions. In and around my job, man, there's fucking nothing but Panera Bread, and I don't want to spend fucking $8 on a goddamn fucking salad every day. Not really what I want to do. I save more money when I'm home than when I'm at work. But I should be prepping my meals, which I have not been. I have not been doing that because I've been putting so much into the goddamn fucking channel. But this week, man, I don't know what it is with me. I just feel fucking down. I feel depressed. I don't know if it's a mixture of just working too hard. I don't know if it's a mixture of, the personal shit that I got going on in my life right now. I know I'm not getting any sleep. I sleep maybe 5.5 hours a night when I got to get up for work. And I don't know if the diet and the change in my intake, what I've been eating, is affecting me. It might be a mixture of literally all those things. But this week I really felt down in the dumps, man. I felt depressed. There was a fucking an episode that I went through at work. I just started fucking, I was just really, really emotional, man. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I just fucking sat in the back room and cried for about 10 minutes, man. I just don't feel good this week. And it might be, the majority of that might have to do with, me, not sleeping good enough. I know when I'm home and I'm off from work the next day and I get a good 8-9 hours of sleep, that I feel okay in the morning, man. I'll get up and I'll make my own schedule and work accordingly to what I want to do during the day. I'll go food shopping. I'll run a few errands. I'll go see my parents for a little bit. I'll come home and I'll make some nice lunch. I'll make a nice meal late at night. And I'll just do what I got to do, man. I'm on my own time. I don't have to fucking be somewhere else on someone else's hour. And it sucks. But when I get no fucking sleep and I got to fucking go to work for 8 hours and I got to come home and do this, it's not really good mentally, man. It's not good mentally and it's not good physically. So this week I just had a very difficult time. I sit at home and I just think about everything that's gone on in the last couple of years, and it's not really good for me, man. So it is what it is. Hopefully I can battle through this, and the channel is really a great outlet for me to just talk and just get my fucking, my frustrations out there and vent to you guys. And that's why I put so much hard work into the channel, man. It's a great way to just push everything else that's bothering me to the side and concentrate and use all that fucking negative energy for positive. But at times, when the camera's on, it's very difficult for me to be the JD that you guys come to, be entertained with. And, it's difficult at times. It's difficult some days to put on that fucking camera face and put on the fucking YouTube personality, And this week, I honestly didn't want to do that. It was very difficult for me, man. Monday Night Raw review, you guys seen how tired I was. I just felt sitting here on Monday Night Raw review, I didn't want to do it. Smackdown, I pushed myself through it. I didn't even want to do that either. And NXT, it is what it is, man. Maybe I'm burnt out from the product, and maybe I'm intaking too much WWE. I don't know, but that's what you guys come to know and expect from the channel, so I have to fucking watch it. But I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just, I don't know if I feel overworked. I don't know if it's a mixture of everything, but this week, more so than the previous weeks, I just didn't feel myself. I didn't feel good, and I downright honestly just felt like shit. So hopefully we battle through it this weekend, and hopefully we can deliver a great off-the-script episode as always. But I just want to let you guys know where I was coming from and, what my state of mind was this week, and it really wasn't all that good. We will go over a lot of things in this video, man. I do have news, but it's not really like a big solo story that I want to concentrate on. It's a lot of small stories. And it's surprising, man, with WrestleMania week, vastly approaching. It's coming up fucking quick. There's not a lot of big stories. There was not a lot of big stories coming out of Fastlane. It was a very predictable pay-per-view. Some people were actually saying it was worse than the ECW, WWE's ECW, December to Dismember. And that was a miserable fucking pay-per-view. So, Fastlane didn't deliver. Monday Night Raw kind of delivered. They got everything laid out for their brand for WrestleMania. But as far as WrestleMania goes, man, we're going to talk about WrestleMania in this video. How long it's going to be. What the current card is looking like for both Raw and SmackDown as a whole for the entire show. It just doesn't feel like WrestleMania build, man. And it's really fucking depressing. It really is depressing that WWE, I don't know, they treat WrestleMania more like an entertainment entity, which I understand that it is, but this is your biggest show of the year, man. It's the culmination of literally everything that should be, that happened in your calendar year. And I feel like WWE is putting matches together for the sake of putting matches together, for the sake of filling 5 hours. I feel like they're going into the build and they don't have a solid idea of what they want to do. I feel like WWE can change something just like that, at the drop of a dime, when plans should have been laid out for literally months before the Royal Rumble. And I feel like it doesn't even feel like WrestleMania. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania, man. I'm going down to WrestleMania in Orlando. I'm not even going to WrestleMania. I'm sending myself down to Orlando for WrestleMania. I am more excited about what's happening outside of WrestleMania that week than the actual event. I'm going to be at Access. I'm going to be at WrestleCon. I'm going to be with the Internet Darlings. Adam from What Culture, Grim, Brian Zane, Matt from Botchamania is going to be there. Joe's going to be there. Maybe some surprise guests. Who the fuck knows? It's going to be a fun time. Sunday, I'm probably going to be meeting up with Salamonster at his fan meetup. And then right from there, I'm going to go hang out with Justin LaBar. He's hosting an event at some Wing Shack in Orlando, and he's going to be watching the event from there. I don't even think he's going, because I don't think he could have got tickets. They're not giving away any more tickets. So it is what it is, man. I'm more excited for the WrestleMania activities and events that are happening outside of WrestleMania than the actual event. But we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully this is not my last WrestleMania. But it just does not feel like WrestleMania at all. But speaking of WrestleMania, the Internet Darlings is going to be taking place on Saturday, April 1st, right before NXT TakeOver. And NXT TakeOver Orlando is going to be a big event. That card is quickly being put together, and it looks very, very good. And the Internet Darlings is being put together by Brian Zane. You guys got about 3 weeks to get your tickets, man. I want to see everybody that's watching this show that's going to be in Orlando to come visit and hang out. $25 a ticket, man. Internet Darlings is going to be a culmination of all your favorite YouTube personalities in the wrestling community. We're going to be talking WrestleMania. We're going to be going over our preview and predictions for WrestleMania. There's going to be some funny skits produced by all of us. We're going to have a fan Q&A. It's just going to be a good time, man. And maybe I'll get into a nice friendly debate with Adam if I am allowed live on stage. So we'll see what happens with that, man. Internet Darlings, if you guys want tickets, Brian Zane of Wrestling with Regret is putting everything together. Make sure you guys get your tickets. The information and the venue and the ticket availability, everything you guys need is down in the description below towards the very top. $25 a ticket. That is the Internet Darlings event right before NXT TakeOver on April 1st from 4 to 6 p.m. I hope to see you guys there. If you guys missed anything that I did on the channel, man, I busted my fucking ass all weekend long and all week long. If you guys missed anything, Raw, Smackdown, NXT are live on the channel right now. Make sure you guys go and check those out if you want to hear your weekly reviews for WWE's big 3 shows. I also did an off-the-script extra video where we talk about the Matt and Jeff Hardy situation, the Broken Hardys signing with Ring of Honor, winning the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships from the Young Bucks, and what it really means. I made a video on their contract situation, and it's unlike anything you've heard from everybody else all weekend long. I really stick it to everybody that thought that you went to the show and you heard Matt Hardy say that they signed the biggest contract in Ring of Honor history. I lay it out on the line for you guys, and I give you guys credible information about what the Hardys are really doing and if they're coming to the WWE or not. Make sure you guys go and check that video out. Everything that I just mentioned is linked in the annotation that you see on the screen. Resident Evil 7 is finishing up this week. Part 11 went live on Wednesday, and Part 12, the ending, will be going live tonight. Make sure you guys check that out. The end of Resident Evil 7. It was a fucking awesome game to run myself through. So fun, man, and I hope you guys enjoyed every fucking video that I put out. WWE 2K17, we did a video where I started this YouTube Expedition of Gold tournament. And in the tournament, you have 8 of WWE's 2K, WWE 2K, and the community's biggest stars. And I put everybody together in one video. I took all their creative characters and I put them in the video, or in the tournament, and I'm going to play it out over 2 to 3 weeks leading up to WrestleMania. In the first match, it was my character, Broken 9-5, versus What Culture's Simon Miller. So if you guys missed that, I try to make it as entertaining as possible. I try to make it as epic as possible with my commentary behind it. Make sure you guys go and support that, man. It's a damn good fucking video, and I really enjoyed making it. So go check it out. Everything that I mentioned will be in the video annotation. Drop it down. It'll take you right to the video. And I thank you for supporting everything that I've done all week long, man. Like I said, I busted my fucking ass for this channel, and I'm going to continue to do so no matter what. Speaking of JD commentary, House of Glory. If you guys want to support indie wrestling, I say fuck yeah, man. Support indie wrestling. House of Glory. HOGWrestling.net. Hopefully we'll be seeing some commentary from the last show that we did with Glory Comes Pride. And that should be hopefully showcased on their YouTube channel with several different matches cut up and highlights and all that stuff. But if you guys want to follow House of Glory on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, even Facebook, everything you need is on their official website, HOGWrestling.net. When I started doing House of Glory commentary, I had House of Glory's YouTube page at 2,000 subscribers. Now that I'm on board and I've been promoting it, we're almost at 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. I want to get them to 10,000 before the end of the summer, man. Let's try and do it. I think that's a very, very generous goal. 10,000 subs for House of Glory on YouTube, and it's going to be a damn good time, man. It's going to be a big, big year for House of Glory Wrestling. Once again, that's HOGWrestling.net. Everything you guys need for their social media is linked on their website, plus all the information for their upcoming shows, ticket availability, ticket prices, ticket purchase. Everything is there on House of Glory's website. The new t-shirt is available. The Get Off My TV hit list. It's Get Off My TV mixed with Negan, mixed with Lucille, and it's fucking awesome, man. The new hit list t-shirt for Get Off My TV is available now on Barber Shop Window. It was actually available since Wednesday evening. So if you guys want to go check that out, barbershopwindow.com/off-the-script. Get yours today. If you order this week, you will get it before WrestleMania. If you guys are going to WrestleMania, if you guys are going to be in Orlando for the festivities that are happening outside of WrestleMania, and you guys want some great merchandise to wear to these events, to these, cons, and to these fucking, wrestling events that are happening out there, go get it, man. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. It's a fucking beautiful design, and I want you guys to support, man. That's definitely a great way to support the channel and to support the podcast. The new Hit List t-shirt for Get Off My TV is available right now. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. $19.99. They ship worldwide. Give or take about 2.5 weeks for delivery. If you guys do it this weekend, you will get it for WrestleMania weekend. WWE Slam Crate by Loot Crate. If you guys want to sign up for that, that's also a great way to support the podcast. Slam Crate is going to be offering a Masters of the Mic crate for their next crate in April. If you guys want to check that out, go to their website, man. It's lootcrate.com/JD from NY. That's the best place to go if you guys want to sign up for the service. In next month's crate, you're going to get a limited edition, absolutely exclusive, found nowhere else, Stone Cold Steve Austin action figure. Now, I don't know what the action figure is going to look like. I don't know how big it's going to be. I don't know what type of action figure it is going to be for Steve Austin, but it is absolutely limited edition, exclusive. You're not going to find this anywhere else. You're not going to find it in Kmart, Walmart, Target. You're not going to find it on WWE Shop. It's only going to be available in Loot Crate, WWE Slam Crate. So if you guys want to go check that out and save 10% off Loot Crate, that is lootcrate.com/JD from NY. And all you got to do at the end of checkout, use the coupon code JD from NY. That is Slam Crate by Loot Crate, officially licensed WWE product. Speaking of crates, Pro Wrestling Crate has 20% off your first subscription if you use the code OFFTHESCRIPT. Pro Wrestling Tees is sponsoring this podcast. We are an official partner with Pro Wrestling Tees through Barbershop Window for the t-shirts. But Pro Wrestling Crate is also giving everybody 20% off using the code OFFTHESCRIPT. ProWrestlingCrate.com. That's my favorite crate all month, man. The unboxing where we open up that crate and it's all t-shirts. Unfucking believable, man. I love that fucking crate. I love their t-shirts. Pro Wrestling Tees is the best fucking website for your t-shirt merchandise, your t-shirts, paraphernalia, wrestling paraphernalia, you name it, man. They are the absolute fucking best. And Pro Wrestling Crate is affiliated with Pro Wrestling Tees, and it's just fun every fucking month, man. Opening up that box and you not knowing what's going to be in it. It's a huge surprise. 4 t-shirts in every fucking box, man. It's unbelievable. It's ProWrestlingCrate.com actually no slash, it's just Pro Wrestling Crate, and then at the end of checkout, it's off the script with the coupon code for 20% off. Another great way to support the show is Audible. Audible is sponsoring the podcast, and they're giving you free trial to try the service out. 30 days, in fact. 30 days to try the service out, free for 30 days, and all you got to do is go to audibletrial.com/offthescript, and all you got to do is go through the sign-up process. Over 180,000 books to choose from, and if you guys sign up, you're going to get to keep that audiobook no matter what. If you guys want to cancel the fucking service, you get to keep your audiobook no matter what, man. There's a ton of wrestling books on there. Roddy Piper, Dusty Rhodes, Shawn Michaels, Daniel Bryan, Hulk Hogan, Bret the Hitman Hart. You got JTG. You got AJ Lee you can even pre-order. That's the new big one that everybody's looking out for, man. AJ Lee, Crazy's My Superpower, coming out in April, WrestleMania weekend. And you guys can actually pre-order that with the free 30-day trial, man. That is audibletrial.com/offthescript. And I'll tell you what, man, we are already at 25 signups for the month of March. We did 94 all in February. We are on our way to breaking that, man. Each month, I want to get bigger and bigger and bigger with this Audible trial. I think Audible is sponsoring the podcast, and it's absolutely an amazing way to support the show and the channel. Once again, that's audibletrial.com/offthescript. That's available for iPhone and Android, so take advantage of that, man. That's a great fucking deal right there. And Gamefly, if you guys want to do that, gameflyoffer.com, 30 days to try their service out. You get to pick one game on the house to play free for 30 days. They'll mail you the envelope. You mail it right back. It doesn't cost you a goddamn fucking dime. And it's awesome, and there's a ton of new games coming out. Nintendo Switch just came out. If you guys want to go play Resident Evil, Ghost Recon Wildlands is out. I'm hearing Horizon Zero Dawn is fucking awesome. So that's another great one, man. Gamefly Offer. That's www.gameflyoffer.com/JD from NY. And as always, Patreon. That's awesome, man. Patreon. You know what we're doing with Patreon? I'm trying to make it more worthwhile for you guys on Patreon. I just set up, and I don't know how many of you know this, but all it takes is $1 a month, man. As little as $1 a month. If you guys want to pledge more, if you can afford it, you're more than welcome to, man. I never ask for anything more than $1. It's up to you guys whether you want to give that much or not monthly to Off the Script. Patreon.com/JD from NY206, man. Not only are you going to get Off the Script early, every single week, as long as I am fucking awake and able to do it, which is most weeks. But I just set up now as a new bonus. I am going to set up, or I have set up, a exclusive Discord chat for everybody that is a Patreon to the channel and a Patreon to Off the Script. I set up a Discord link where we discuss wrestling, where you guys can chat amongst yourselves. It's wrestling fans who love talking with other wrestling fans who support this channel and my journey on YouTube, and it's fucking awesome. I'll pop in and out of there when I can, and I was on there last week, man. We were talking about literally everything, man. We discussed the topics that I discussed on Off the Script. We discussed Monday Night Raw, Smackdown, the world title situation on Smackdown. It was a damn good fucking time, man. So if you guys want to sign up for Patreon, that is another exclusive you guys are going to get on there. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. You got Off the Script early. You got the exclusive Discord link. And as of this week, everybody that is a Patreon will get the Off the Script theme. The original one, the one you heard in this video. You're going to get the Off the Script theme downloadable so that you guys can have it as a ringtone, as a fucking notification sound. That is going to be the newest exclusive for Off the Script and Patreons to this channel, man. So thank you everybody that has pledged. We are at 145 patrons right now. That is absolutely fucking unbelievable. Thank you to everybody who continues to support. You guys make my dreams come true. Now, I did have my notes. I put them away. We're going to go over the sub-stories, man, before we get into the news for Off the Script. We got one from Tony Mate, and we got one from Lashin Schmidt. We got two today, and we're going to read Tony's first. Sub-stories is a portion of the podcast where we read people's feelings and emotions and personal stories and how they love the show and how the show has affected their lives. This is something that I just started doing on a whim. I didn't really expect it to turn anything or into anything, and it just really turned out to be one of the best things that I've done for this channel, man. So you guys are sending me stories left and right. I'm so backlogged on stories right now that it's really hard to keep up. If you guys had sent in a story and I have not read it yet and you want to resubmit it, or if you guys want to send in a story altogether, it is JD from NY206 at yahoo.com. If you guys want to send me your story and you're not afraid to share your personal stories here on Off the Script. But we got one here from Tony Mate, and he's from Covington, Washington. He says, "Hi JD, I am Tony from Covington, Washington. And I wanted to write this because I don't think this will even affect anything, but if I can write something and even one person thinks about this, I will be happy. I want to share my story with you. I was born with autism. Thanks to several years of tutoring, I have been able to hide that from people. I was diagnosed with a level of autism that doesn't affect my talking or even how I act, but I still don't understand some emotions. I tell you this because I realize how sad that is. I have to hide who I am because in today's society, people who have mental disabilities, who can't help their shape, who are attracted to people other than the other gender they are looked down on. With such derogatory terms such as retard, faggot, lard, and cancer being constantly used in comments, it's hurtful. I'm personally not affected by it now because I know, or at least hope, it's not meant to hurt people, but I remember when it did hurt. I have two things. One, the reason why I spent so many hours that I could have been spending making friends or playing video games is because I didn't want to be treated differently like an outcast. There were some people who still did when I wasn't as mature as I am now. My sister always stuck up for me in those times, and I can never thank her enough for that. I would cry during those days, though hating myself, wishing I could be normal. I hated myself. I hurt myself because I wanted it to go away. I didn't let that affect how I treated people, though. I hid that behind a smile and a nice attitude to all. I now look back and wish I could tell myself this, and I quote, "Those words are just words. Being autistic isn't something to be ashamed of. Life will get better if you try to beat it and not let it be an excuse. My dad always says it best," end quote. I've been kicking autism's ass for 20 years now, and I have a job, a family who loves me, a voice, and I do fit in with everyone else today because I did not give up. As much as I could tell everyone who didn't know, it's more impressive to know that my coworkers don't even know I'm autistic. I just wanted to share that because I hear the stories on air and I get inspired, but I never thought I could send you this until now. Number 2, I wanted to let you know how I found you. My story was a lot like another that was on here. I had a girlfriend for a year during my best year of school ever, my senior year at Kentwood. Even back then, I wasn't mature enough to feel accepted, and she made me feel accepted. She was a junior, but it didn't matter. She is beautiful, and I could talk about her for the rest of my life if I wanted to, and I never will forget her and what we had. But eventually, after my senior year, I started to try and develop. I wanted to be able to drive eventually. I wanted to be able to work. I wanted to be able to do better for her. I wanted to be someone who could support her no matter what, and I gave her everything I could, even leaving my friends behind for it. Even so, she left. I will spare you the details because it's not a pretty breakup at all. Even though she left, and he got depressed. Tony got depressed. But I got depressed. The only girl I truly felt like I loved was gone. The only person I felt accepted me besides my family was gone. I was depressed, but one day decided to go onto YouTube and check out someone that I heard from Pokemon Showdown. His name was JD. The first video I ever saw of yours was the first time ever you did the Kevin Dunn impression. I don't even know what the first video that I did the Kevin Dunn impression for the first time is. That instantly made me laugh and forget about how I was sad about that day. I started watching more and more and eventually realized that if I tried again to improve, I could do it because my inspiration now is to meet you someday in person. I slowly fell out of my depression and I've matured into someone who isn't ashamed of what he was given at birth. I now see one more accomplishment. I want to thank you for your content, and if you do read this, for reading my email, I just want to say that you are certainly a person I respect and look up to. By the way, Raw sucks, but you already knew that. Anyway, thank you one last time for being JD. Thank you, Tony, for sharing your story and kicking autism's ass. I am very proud of you for really fighting. You know, because it's a very, very cold world out there, man, and people, they are very hurtful. They are very nasty by nature. Not everybody, but some people are. And they'll look down at people who are different or have a disability or have some type of condition. And they'll look down at them because they're different and not like everybody else. You proved that with working hard and being confident in who you are, that, you know, it didn't matter what you were about or what type of condition or sickness or this or that you had. You were Tony, and you were a great person, and everybody eventually seen that. And congratulations to you, man, for kicking autism's ass and maintaining a very well and healthy life. You know, that you have a family and you got friends and coworkers, and people who love you. That's awesome to hear, man. I'm very proud of you, and I'm happy to have you here with me on this journey, and I'm glad that you found me. I'm going to do my best to always entertain you. I'm always going to do my best to give you the best fucking news and rumors that I can, and the best show that I can. And every week that I come on here, man, I'm going to, I vow to everybody, not just to you, to everybody, that I'm going to give you literally the JD that you guys want, the JD that you guys love. No matter how I'm feeling, I'm going to give you the off the script that you want every single week. And I'm glad that this show is important to you, that you are a fan and that you sent me this story. Most people wouldn't have shared this with me. I'm glad that you are a fan of the show and felt like, you know what? I trust JD enough. I love off the script enough for my story and, me being Tony to be shared with the world. So I greatly appreciate them, and man. And thank you for everything that you've done for, the channel and showing support to the show, man. I greatly appreciate that, and I love you guys for that. Moving on, man. We got one more here. We're going to go with this one. It is from Lashin Schmidt, and he titles this Off the Script Sub-Story. Hello, JD. I am from Melbourne, Australia, or Melbourne, Australia. However you guys pronounce it. I don't know. I'm from New York, man, so to me it sounds like Melbourne. It looks like born. But he is from Melbourne, Australia. And I've been watching you since I came across your Royal Rumble 2015 review. And he puts in quotes, terrible Royal Rumble. Yes, I agree with you, bro. Ever since I saw your rant on Roman Reigns, I have consistently been watching you daily. I know you love your cats, and as far as I'm aware, you have two. And I wanted to share a story with you that you and Off the Script helped me get through in this tough time. I have a cat named Murphy, and we got him around 2, and let me rephrase that. He got a cat named Murphy, and he got him when he was about 2 years old, 2 years ago. He always is having fun and playing with my dog. I remember when he used to jump on my bed in the morning as we would both watch Off the Script and other stuff on YouTube together. However, a few months ago, we noticed he was breathing funny and it didn't seem right. After a few trips of going to the vet, they told us he had an extremely rare disease with his heart that would cause his breathing pattern to go out of whack. Ever since this happened, he was a changed cat. You could almost say he was #broken, but in a negative way. He stopped being active, he would constantly sleep through the day, and he would no longer come on my bed in the mornings. The doctors said that there is no cure for this disease. He will just have to take lots of medication to try and prevent it. About a week ago, he had an attack where he was crying and could not move his back legs. We had to rush him to the hospital, where he stayed there throughout the day, and it wasn't good for him. They said that there is really nothing they can do, and that the best thing for him is to probably have him be put down. Later that evening, we drove to the hospital to give him a goodbye and farewell. I was so sad that I didn't even want to go in and see him the way he was. He had tubes in him, he had a blanket, still couldn't move his back legs, he just laid there uncomfortably. It came to the time where we had to leave, and I remember that this is where it really hit me. Driving off and looking through the hospital doors, thinking of myself, farewell Murphy. I don't know if you've seen Toy Story 3, but it very much reminded me of the closing scene where Andy drives off and leaves all his toys for good. This was very tough for me, and while we were driving home, I had your video playing to cheer me up. And I'm getting emotional because, my family dealt with 2 deaths, and it sucks. And, I fear that one day, Bacardi, she's getting old. I know how attached everybody gets with the animals, I had your video playing to cheer me up so that I could hear a guy with a brain talk wrestling and make me smile. You, Joe, and many others have inspired me to create a channel of my own called King Schmidt. And I have a show called Off the Air, which wasn't named to try and copy Off the Script. However, if you would want me to change it, I could do that for you. Anyway, that's a story that I wanted to share. If you do read this, thank you for taking the time to do so. Keep up the great work. Hashtag Team JD. Lashlin, I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing the story, and I apologize for to you guys for getting emotional. But every time I hear about the loss of a pet, it really hits me. I don't want to go into stories about my family's dealings with pets, but I know how important your pets are. They're very important to me. Bacardi, my cat, is nearing 14, and as far as I know, she's healthy. She has her bouts where I feel like there's something wrong with her because she goes into these fits where she's growling at her tail, and she just growls excessively at nothing. And I don't know if it's like she has something wrong with her, but she hasn't done that in a few months now, and she's really calm. I changed her diet. I'm feeding her better than I'm feeding me, to be perfectly honest with you, both of them. But I feel bad for her now because I have Bailey. I have my baby Bailey in the living room right now. I left the TV on. She's actually watching Thor because I was watching Thor before I actually decided to record off the script today. But I feel bad because Bacardi's in my bedroom now as I'm recording off the script, and she's sleeping peacefully. She's sleeping on my bed, on my blankets. And it sucks because I keep her confined to this room all day long. I don't trust the baby to be in here. Number one, because I have a lot of very expensive stuff, and she gets into literally everything. I fear that she'll be in here, and my computer wires will be chewed up, and my lava lamp will be on the fucking floor, and it'll be fucking broken. The glass will be broken. I'll have fucking lava lamp juice everywhere. And she's a bully to Bacardi, and I don't like being that guy that wants to confine her to the living room and then Bacardi here to the bedroom. But I have to because Bailey's a bully and they don't get along, and Bacardi freaks out. She gets nervous. She doesn't feel like she can be herself, and she's at an age where she wants to just be by herself. She sleeps with me on most nights. She'll come up. She'll see me laying in bed. I'll be watching YouTube videos before I actually shut my phone off and go to sleep. And she'll lay on my chest and she'll purr. And I know she's happy that I'm there because, I do spend a lot of time with the baby because she's young and she needs attention. And when I lay with her, she shows me, listen, I love you and, I miss you. And she licks my face. She licks my shirt. She licks my arms. And she's just licking me all over. And it's like, I know she misses me, and I know she doesn't want to be confined to this room. That's why when I go down to Wrestlemania, it's going to be a nice break for Bacardi because Bailey's actually going to stay with my mom. She's going to watch Bailey for about 6 days, and Bacardi's going to have free reign to do whatever she wants, in the house. She can go sleep on the couch. She can go fucking roam around the living room, go play in the living room, go lay on the rug in the living room. She doesn't have to be confined to only the bed, and, I feed her here, 2-3 times a day, but it sucks. And I don't know if I'm doing bad by confining her to one room. She doesn't seem to mind it, but in the back of my mind, I feel like I'm doing bad. And when I read your story, it hit me because I've dealt with family pets being put down. I know that day is going to be coming eventually for Bacardi, and I don't want to deal with it. We had to put down the family dog Spike, and I never seen my dad cry the way I seen him that day, man. Everybody. We had to put him down. He was blind. I believe he had started to develop a cancerous tumor, and there was nothing that they could do for him. He had arthritis, and you look at him, he hears you, and his tail was wagging, and he knows, and his eyes were all gray. And to see my dad cry like that, man, it sucks. Everybody. My mom was fucking heartbroken. And my mom, she missed Spike so much, and he's now on top of my mom's mantle in the living room, above the fireplace, because we had him cremated and we took him home with us. And my mom immediately, 3 weeks later, got another fucking dog, and she got Bruiser, who you guys, if you follow me on Twitter, you see Bruiser. I usually tweet or sometimes tweet, pictures of Bruiser, and She just missed Spike so much. She said the house felt empty. and she got Bruiser, and Bruiser's the family dog now, and he's healthy, he's happy, he's 2 years old. He had a prostate problem as of late, so he took medication for that, but that's a normal thing the vet said for those types of dogs. It was me and my mom who took Selena, my grandma's dog, who, while my grandpa was dealing with Alzheimer's, I know I told this story a few times, but it fits into the context of what we're talking about. My grandpa was sick, and my Uncle Jerry wasn't really watching my grandpa on some occasions when he was over there. My Uncle Jerry would be in the kitchen making food, and my grandpa would be in the living room, and he would feed the fucking dog chocolate because he didn't know any better. My grandma always had this big bowl of candy on the living room table, for people to munch on or snack on or pick at, when they were over there. And my grandpa was feeding the fucking dog chocolate, and the chocolate kills the dog, and that was that. The dog died right in the fucking vet's office, and my mom literally broke down on her hands and knees, just fucking crying over the dog. I remember leaving fucking work that day when I was working down on Wall Street, and my dad called, Selena died. I fucking broke out crying in tears just on the train ride because I didn't know what to expect. As soon as I see my mom just break down and cry, I cried because that's what happens when I see my mother crying. I instantly just fucking burst out into tears because it's my mom, And then it was actually me and my mom who walked down into the basement with the family cat, Boomer. Boomer was actually named after Boomer Esiason because my mom was a big Jets fan, and she named the cat after Boomer because Boomer Esiason was a Jets quarterback at one point in his career. And we walked down into the basement, and we walked down there, and Boomer was passed out on the couch, the futon downstairs in my mom's basement, and Boomer had passed right then and there, and we didn't know what to do. It was up to my brother to take her to the vet to get her put down because that's something we did not want to have happen, and it just happened. She passed away on the couch, and we actually buried her in the backyard. We got her a nice little tombstone with her name and the year that we got her and the year she passed, and we buried her by my dad's barbecue in the back in the house. So I understand how important pets are, and those are my stories with pets, and I got two of my own. I love Bailey. She's a pain in the ass, but I love her. I want to see her grow up into a happy, healthy house cat. I'm gonna get her spaded soon. Hopefully that calms her down. Boomer was Bacardi was spaded. And I love my pets, man. I love them every night. I see fucking, it sucks. I see cats run in and out of the street. I see fucking cats run over when I'm fucking on my way home from work, on the highway, on the fucking side streets coming down my block. It sucks. And I kiss my cats every fucking morning before I go to work. I kiss my cats every fucking night I come home from work. I kiss my cats all day long, man. I love them. I want them to know that I love them. I want them to know that I'm here for them. And I want you guys to do the same, man. Lashin, his story just really hit me because I understand, what he went through. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there listening to this show this weekend that have gone through the same exact thing. And I appreciate Lashin for sharing his story. It was a very, very heartbreaking story. I hate hearing that about any animal. I am an animal lover. I love all animals. And the most important thing I can tell you guys that if you have a pet, after reading and hearing Lashin's story, pause the video, go kiss your fucking dog, go kiss your cat, go kiss whatever animal that you have as a family pet that's part of the family. Tell them that you love them, and do that throughout the day, man. They can never get enough of that, and I do it all day long with my cats. And just do that for me, man, because they are a part of the family and they're an important part of our lives. So I want to thank Lashin and Tony for sharing their stories on Off the Script this week. I'm going to get myself back in a more JD-esque mood, being that the first half of this podcast really wasn't all that uplifting, but it is what it is, man. That's what this podcast is about. It's about you guys, and it's about me. And it's about sharing my personal stories, and it's about, sharing your guys' stories. And I'm going to get myself situated. We're going to talk some wrestling news. I'm going to give you guys the best fucking wrestling news that there is here on YouTube.com. We're going to go over WrestleMania, how long it's going to be, what's the current card right now for both Raw and SmackDown for WrestleMania. And we got a big story on Daniel Bryan. I don't know what's going on with Daniel Bryan, but he's seemingly letting the cat out of the bag about what his intentions are after he leaves the WWE. So I'm going to get myself ready. I'll see you guys in a little bit, and we're going to talk WWE news and rumors right here on Off the Script. I am actually going to start off with this story. I didn't even see I had this in my notes, but yes, I'm going to go over it because people still can't believe what happened at Fastlane. Like, what is the big shock to everybody? Well, why are people complaining that Kevin Owens lost in 22 seconds? Why? What's the big deal? Who cares if Goldberg is the Universal Champion? The Universal Championship is fucking meaningless on Monday Night Raw. It's hardly been defended on Monday Night Raw. It hasn't been treated in the main event of Monday Night Raw or at a pay-per-view. Hardly. It hasn't been positioned. It hasn't been given a spotlight as the most important thing on Monday Night Raw. The most important things on Monday Night Raw are Roman Reigns and whatever he's doing with whomever he's feuding with, and Miss Robot there. Futurama, Charlotte. I am the women's champion. I don't think Bayley deserves a women's championship. Charlotte, the one who can't fucking cut a promo in the worthless women's division that is Monday Night Raw. Sasha Banks is not really the boss. Bayley is nothing but a fan and not an active wrestler. She has a sad, pathetic story to tell. Come on, bro. Really? This is what people watch and don't get upset about. You're upset about Goldberg winning the Universal Championship. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit about Goldberg? Now, I understand that if you're a WWE fan, and I'm the same way, but I'm not getting upset about it. I'm not. Goldberg won the Universal Championship in 22 seconds. Okay? I understand that part-timers don't belong in WrestleMania main events. I understand part-timers don't deserve to close the show. I understand all that. But you gotta understand Vince McMahon's vision. Okay? If he can make money out of you, he is going to put you in the main event. The guys that he has on the current roster right now that are touring fully with WWE, Vince McMahon sees absolutely no money in. Goldberg and Brock Lesnar are going to make him the most money. He is going to put those guys in the main event because he is paying them more than anybody on the active fucking roster. He's got to get his money's worth, and he's going to make just as much money back on those guys. Enhance that with a championship stipulation, and the fact that Brock Lesnar is going to try and get revenge on what Bill Goldberg has done to him all these months. And to Vince McMahon, that is a money-making situation that needs to be in the main event of WrestleMania. And it doesn't help the fact that Vince McMahon is completely writing this storyline on his own, with the help of Paul Heyman, who I believe is scripting Goldberg's promos. So what is there to be upset about? Goldberg is the Universal Champion. What does the Universal Championship mean to Monday Night Raw? It means nothing. It means nothing. You don't need to fucking lash out on social media. You don't need to fucking come on YouTube and make a video about it. I brushed it off because we knew this coming into the show. The only thing we didn't know about going into Fastlane was how quick it was going to be and how it was going to get to the conclusion of the show. That's it. But at Fastlane, Goldberg defeated Owens in 22 seconds, won the Universal Championship. WWE officials felt it was necessary for a specific reason. The WWE Universe was ready for a title change because it has been rumored by everybody for weeks leading into the pay-per-view, but there's been a lot of backlash online against the booking since the pay-per-view. Because the pay-per-view was trash. Everything that WWE did at that pay-per-view, from Charlotte losing to her streak, or Charlotte losing her streak, to Roman Reigns beating Braun Strowman clean, to the fucking burial of Kevin Owens, the pay-per-view was fucking garbage. Garbage. You know, funny that the Cruiserweights are getting a lot of bullshit from everybody, but they put on the best match of the whole fucking night at Fastlane. Gallagher and Neville stole the show. Go figure. There is a reason why Goldberg beat Kevin Owens so quickly, and it was all about WrestleMania. On WWE television, Chris Jericho is responsible for Owens losing to Goldberg in 22 seconds. Jericho's distraction allowed Goldberg to take advantage and win the WWE Universal title. On Raw, Owens claimed he's owed a rematch anytime he wants it. Whether that comes to be remains to be seen. But his priority is revenge and taking the United States Championship. Yeah, Owens' priority right now is revenge and taking the United States Championship away from Chris Jericho, because there's no fucking way WWE or Vince McMahon's going to give Kevin Owens a fucking rematch against Brock Lesnar or Bill Goldberg. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So he might as well just come out and say, yeah, I'm owed a rematch, but not against Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg. That's all you got to say. Don't say, oh yeah, I'm owed a rematch anytime he wants it. Not going to happen. Because if Kevin Owens wanted a rematch, he'd have a rematch on Monday Night Raw the very next night. So for him to say, I get a rematch anytime I want, you're going to wait till the end of the fucking year when Goldberg and Brock Lesnar are not WWE Universal Champion? What, are you going to wait till Roman Reigns is the champion so we get another Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns fucking feud? Give me a break. You fucking retards. And by the way, another thing I want to mention in this report, you know, a lot of people are claiming, oh, look at what Kevin Owens is reduced to. He loses in 22 seconds to Bill Goldberg. He loses the title, and now he's bumped down to the bottom of the card fighting for the United States Championship. Who cares? Who cares? The Universal Championship and the United States Championship are two and the same. Garbage. It's meaningless. They're nothing but props. The Universal Championship means nothing to anybody on Monday Night Raw. It's been positioned like fucking shit. It hasn't been spotlighted. It hasn't meant anything since Finn Balor initially won it and then had to give it up. It hasn't meant anything. So the United States Championship and the Universal title mean the exact same fucking thing. They are worthless on Monday Night Raw. United States Championship is not defended. Ever since they took it off John Cena, the title's been fucking dumped on every fucking week. Went to Rusev and then it went to Roman Reigns, who was one of the worst United States champions of all time. And now it's in the hands of Chris Jericho, who's been out for fucking 30 days and will not defend the title until WrestleMania. So you're going to go over 50 days without the title being defended. Some way to position your second biggest championship on your brand, WWE. It means nothing. So don't get your panties in a bunch over the fact that Owens is fighting for the United States Championship instead of the Universal Championship. They are both the same thing. Worthless. As expected, Jericho versus Owens will happen at WrestleMania for the U.S. title. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar has been official for weeks now, but their final match in Orlando will be for the Universal Championship. Not everyone in the WWE universe is thrilled with Goldberg versus Lesnar being for WWE's top prize. Let me reword that. Raw's top prize. It's not WWE's top prize, you fucking goon. But it will be pivotal to the upcoming WrestleMania card. In fact, WWE officials booked Goldberg versus Owens at Fastlane to be a squash match to save Goldberg for WrestleMania 33. Save him for what? 22 seconds. Are we going to get Goldberg's match bumped up to 3 minutes? I mean, what's the big fucking deal here? Can you imagine WrestleMania 33 closing with Goldberg and Brock Lesnar in a 5-minute affair? Yeah, but there were reports going around that WWE wants to rival Omega and Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. Are you fucking kidding me? What was it that I said with Kevin Dunn? Omega? Okada? Oh, fuck those guys, man. This is WrestleMania. You know how much wood is in Orlando? And next year, Roman Reigns is going to be in main event. That's right, bitch. Yeah. Fuck out of here, man. These guys are a bunch of fucking clueless retards. Saving Goldberg for Wrestle. What are you saving him for? What are you saving him for? I want to see him wrestle now. Seriously, he was in the ring at Fastlane with one of the best wrestlers on the roster. You're saving him for Brock Lesnar? For what? An ass kicking? You're gonna go from 22 seconds to fucking 62 seconds. Yeah, some upgrade you got there, Vince McMahon. Meanwhile, he's in the ring with Kevin Owens, who could have protected him, who could have brought out a decent match from Bill Goldberg. Are you fucking kidding me? So illogical. You're saving Goldberg for WrestleMania 33. Yeah, some lame excuse there you got, Vince. Some lame excuse. Here's another one. According to new reports, WWE officials are still being overly cautious about Goldberg's health, especially with WrestleMania 33 only a few weeks away. It's been noticeable that he hasn't taken many bumps despite being featured in 3 huge matches over the past 6 months of WWE television. Goldberg defeated Owens so quickly because WWE officials aren't willing to risk Goldberg getting hurt before WrestleMania. They don't want to hurt him, but they want to put the fucking world title on him. Unreal. Unfucking real. Goldberg's got the best job out of anybody in the business. He does nothing. He gets dressed. He fucking breaks his sweat without even getting in the fucking ring. He gets a fucking sparkler shower during his entrance. Right? He gets in the ring. 20 seconds. One move. It's over. It's over. And it's been like this for fucking how many months now? November, December, January, February. We're fucking 4 months into this garbage. And Goldberg has done absolutely nothing. The only move he's taken is a goddamn fucking F5 that we seen from Brock Lesnar on Monday Night Raw. And they're lucky that that F5 didn't put him on the shelf for fucking 6 to 8 months. Give me a break. You're worried about his fucking health, but you want to book him in the main event of WrestleMania and you want to give him the fucking world title on Monday Night Raw. But you're worried about his fucking health and his well-being. Maybe he shouldn't be in the fucking WWE. Maybe he shouldn't be in the fucking ring if you're worried about his health and well-being. This is where someone else on the full-time fucking roster needs to step in and main event WrestleMania. Enough of these fucking part-timers, man. You treat them like fucking gods. You gotta fucking take extra care of them because every fucking one of them's 55 years old. Come on, bro. Get with the fucking program. I understand you want to make money, but when I think WrestleMania, I don't think Goldberg, Brock Lesnar for the world title. Seriously. If next year we don't see AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the world title closing out WrestleMania, something's fucking wrong here. Something's got to give. Something's got to change. It's understandable why WWE would protect Goldberg heading into WrestleMania. He has become one of the WWE's most bankable stars over the past few months. What does that say about the rest of your fucking roster? He's the most bankable star over the past few months. It's because you don't trust anybody on your roster. It's because you failed to create new stars. It's because you don't put the effort and the resources into building current guys on your roster. You're so worried about writing for Goldberg and signing Goldberg and protecting Goldberg and selling video games and fucking doing this and doing that and fucking waxing Kevin Dunn's teeth with fucking polygrip. Whatever the fuck is going on backstage. This is all you're concerned about. But dropping the fucking title, if you're Kevin Owens at 22 seconds, is no big deal, right? Someone who's toured with the fucking brand all year, who's busted his fucking ass, who's got to be put in a fucking clown-like storyline, treated like a fucking joke as a champion, drops the title in 22 seconds. That's what you think about your full-time guys. Yeah, Owens, we love you, but you're going to drop the title to Goldberg in 22 seconds. How do you think he felt after that? How do you think he felt after that? You think Owens was like, yeah, man, I did a great job. I'm a company guy. Or did he die a little inside when he had to hear from Vince McMahon, oh, Kevin, you're going to drop the title to Goldberg in 22 seconds. You know what? It takes Kevin Dunn 22 seconds to fully brush his front 2 teeth every morning. He's an expert. That's right, Vince. That's right, Vince. Kevin only got to lose 22 pounds, you fat fuck. Too many chicken sandwiches for Kevin Owens. He's on that Samoa Joe diet. Fuck out of here, man. This is the shit that I'm thinking of when I'm at work and you're at work and then I come on here. This is bullshit. This is absolutely bullshit. I agree with you. But am I shocked? No. Am I surprised? No. Who cares? I think it's wrong. It's not like we didn't expect it. If this was like Kevin Owens was the greatest Universal Champion of all time, if he was NXT Kevin Owens for 7 months and then he goes into fucking Fastlane and loses in 10 seconds to Goldberg with nobody knowing, then I would have been pissed. But now I find this to be fucking hilariously pathetic. It's a joke. The powers that be may or may not be aware that by protecting Goldberg until WrestleMania, they are also hiding his weakness from the WWE Universe. Listen, if you know Goldberg in the history of watching Gold, what is his weakness? Wrestling. That guy can't fucking wrestle. What did Gorilla Monsoon, or what did Bobby Heenan say? Hulk Hogan can't tell a fucking wrist lock from a wristwatch. That's Goldberg. His weakness is he can't wrestle. And he needs to step up his cardio game. He's blown up before the bell even fucking rings. Those are his weaknesses. All his in-ring appearances have been short with only a few big moves performed. Goldberg has not been challenged in the ring since returning to the WWE, so the match with Lesnar will most likely be the opportunity for him to put on a longer match. But the pressure will be on him to perform. WWE may have intentionally, or unintentionally I should say, turned the WWE Universe against Goldberg in an attempt to protect him going into Orlando. The fans were prepared for Goldberg to go over Owens at Fastlane, but a lot of the backlash against him becoming the Universal Champion was it might have buried Owens. There are many people who didn't like the title going from Owens to Goldberg the way that it did, which may be a problem. Of course it's a fucking problem. It's going from part-timer to part-timer. Meanwhile, the full-time guys have nothing to fight for. This is when Lesnar becomes champion, you elevate the United States Championship. The United States Championship needs to take the place of the Universal title and start main eventing fucking shows with some meaning behind it. If they don't do that, then Raw has nothing for these guys to fight for. That's a fucking problem. But they don't see that. They don't see that, though. It's going to go from Goldberg to Lesnar, and Lesnar's going to hold it through the entire fucking summer. So Monday Night Raw is not going to have a top title to fight over unless Brock Lesnar comes out and starts working more dates and starts wrestling on Monday Night Raw, which I don't foresee happening. So what are the guys on Monday Night Raw going to fight for? Huh? Nobody's got an answer. It's a problem. It is definitely a big problem. Goldberg has been universally loved by the fans since returning to the WWE, but the Chicago crowd during Monday Night Raw this week has a different reaction. They got a different reaction to anybody. If your name is not fucking CM Punk, then they're gonna fucking spit on you. There were noticeable boos, and the crowd favored Lesnar during their segment. Chicago is a very smart city, which is a good comparison to what WWE can expect at WrestleMania 33. If WWE officials aren't careful, the crowd could ruin the final Goldberg-Lesnar match. Goldberg's health has been protected since his return. He has logged in less than 10 minutes of 10 minutes. That's being generous. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I don't count the Royal Rumble. I'm talking about one-on-one. Okay? You're supposed to last longer in the Royal Rumble. He didn't even do that. He was eliminated by The Undertaker. So he's logged in less than 10 minutes because they're counting the Royal Rumble over the past 6 months and is still able to remain one of the company's most bankable stars. His run has been very successful, but the WWE Universe could still turn on the match if it's bad or if they feel Goldberg hasn't earned his place on the WrestleMania card, which he has not. Well, because your name is Goldberg doesn't mean you earned the place on WrestleMania's card. I guess you could make me a fucking pre-order for the next WWE game, and I would have earned my WrestleMania spot in the main event. I guess so, because that's all it took. WWE officials should be cautious about more than just Goldberg's health heading into WrestleMania. There are a lot of factors that could still play in this for the Goldberg-Lesnar match to close WrestleMania. So there you got it. The real reason why Goldberg defeated Kevin Owens in 22 seconds revealed. Do you want to know the full fucking reason? In closing, it's because WWE is fucking retarded. That's all I got to say about that. Speaking of WrestleMania, how long is WrestleMania expected to be this year at Camping World Stadium? WrestleMania 33 is coming up very quickly. I can't wait to get down there. As soon as I get off the fucking flight, I will have a drink in my hand, and Off the Script will be recorded as soon as I get down there. The event will take place on April 2nd in Orlando. One of the biggest questions heading into the event is how long the show will run for. It looks like wrestling fans should be preparing themselves for a long night. Dave Meltzer was asked on Twitter how long WrestleMania 33 would run for, including the pre-show. He says the show is expected to be 6.5 hours long when all is said and done. This likely means that there will be a 2-hour kickoff show, like we saw last year with a couple of matches. The main card will run most definitely over 4 hours. I would not be surprised if WWE runs this to 7 hours. on one. That's a lot of fucking vodka and club sodas. I'll tell you that right now. You know, Justin LaBar's specialty, man, is called the reality check. I think I'll be having a few reality checks after this fucking thing is over. I'll tell you that. This likely means a 2-hour kickoff show, 4 hours plus for the main show. I could see it going 5 hours. On the other hand, this is good news because it gives each match plenty of time for in-ring action. On the other hand, it has a lot of content for fans to take in. It is WrestleMania, though, so I think that we will mostly enjoy the night. Never mind the event. Some of us will not like the event. We're going to enjoy the night because we're going to be around friends, family, colleagues, and alcohol. So there you got it. Dave Meltzer's reporting WrestleMania is going to be 6.5 hours long total with the pre-show and the main card. Looking like it could be definitely 7 hours of WrestleMania 33. Way too fucking long. But it's WrestleMania, right? The biggest sports extravaganza in all the world. Yeah, with Goldberg and Brock Lesnar closing the show. Sure thing. Beth Phoenix was announced for this year's Hall of Fame class, as you guys know, and Edge responds to critics saying that Beth Phoenix going into the Hall of Fame is too soon. Beth Phoenix was announced for this year's Hall of Fame class. There's been a lot of fans saying that she is inducted way too quickly and complaining that there are a number of deserving female stars that have yet to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Edge took to Facebook to post a lengthy response to Beth Phoenix getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. He lists off a number of reasons why she is worth to be inducted right now. Number one, I love Edge. I love Adam Copeland. He's one of my favorites of all time. Probably one of my favorite theme songs of all time because I love Alter Bridge. But listen, this is his wife. They have children together. So obviously he's going to be pro Beth Phoenix. There's nothing wrong with that. And after I read this response from Edge, I want to let you guys know what I think of the Hall of Fame and why I think Beth Phoenix is in the Hall of Fame. And, you know, the likes of Vicky Guerrero or Chyna, which everybody's mentioning, is not in the Hall of Fame, or Miss Elizabeth is not in the Hall of Fame. I would imagine she would have been in by now. Her and Macho Man should have went in together, to be quite honest with you, as a tandem. But they didn't do that, and she's not in the Hall of Fame. This is from Edge, and I quote via Facebook, "In salute of hashtag International Women's Day." Did Tom Phillips partake in any festivities during International Women's Day? Did he come up with a hit list of faces he wanted to fuck? Tom Phillips? Huh? You fucking goon? Anyway, not to damper the mood with fucking the man that face fucks the place here, Tom Phillips, or the face that face fucks the place, Tom Phillips. In salute of International Women's Day, I thought it was time to talk about a 2017 Hall of Fame inductee. More specifically, my wife, Beth Copeland, a.k.a. the Glamazon, a.k.a. the Glamour Mom, a.k.a. Beth Phoenix. That's a lot of AKAs. Now, obviously, I am biased and extremely proud of Beth, but after she expressed doubt as to whether she should go into the Hall of Fame so quickly, I looked at her resume. I stepped out of the husband's shoes and looked at her question and came to the conclusion that, hell yeah, she should be. Who cares what year it happens? If you have a Hall of Fame resume, you deserve to go in, plain and simple. There's no time eligibility, as with pro sports, so who even cares when it happens? As long as it happens, it's not a race between anybody. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but that is mine. And since I'm a Hall of Famer myself, my opinion is more important. And he puts in quotes, I kid. Kind of. Let's roll through the credentials. First women's ladder match in history versus Katie Lee Burchill, who I really enjoyed back in the day. First women's table match in history with Natalia versus Lay Cool. First women's I Quit match with Melina. Second woman to ever enter the Royal Rumble and eliminate the Great Khali. I don't know if that's an accomplishment or not, eliminating the Great Khali, but you were in the Royal Rumble. So be it. 3-time women's champion. 1-time Divas champion, third most female pay-per-view appearances with 38, one behind Trish Stratus and Natalya at 39. There's a reason she was put in those positions. She was damn good at her job. I always felt, even before we were an item, that Beth was a wrestler. Plain and simple. She could wrestle. In a time when female physical strength was not in vogue, she still stuck to her guns. In the days of Diva Searches, no offense to Diva Search contestants, Beth was a throwback. She joined her high school wrestling team, the first woman to do so at her school, and broke down barriers, all with the goal of making it to the WWE after seeing Bret Hart versus Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10. One of, and this is me speaking, one of my favorite WrestleMania matches, one of my favorite matches, period, ever in WWE history. She was and is a true fan of the industry, which sadly can be a rarity in this industry. She left a good, safe job to hop in her Geo Prism and drive to Louisville, Kentucky to try and get into OVW at the time, WWE's farm system, after being told for years by the higher-ups in WWE Talent Relations that she wasn't what they were looking for, which was the next Trish Stratus, and waitressing in Perkins to make her ends meet. I guess Perkins is a diner or a restaurant of some sort. She continued showing up. Finally, she was hired, eventually made it to Monday Night Raw, and in her first match, broke her jaw, but finished the match. Not deterred, she came back with an idea and a different attitude, and the Glamazon was born. She could play the straight woman to Santino. She was the woman who the company could depend on for years on pay-per-view. She was one of the women to keep the flame alive for women's wrestling in an era where it was put on the back burner, and I agree. You know, Beth Phoenix wrestled in a time when WWE didn't give a shit about women's wrestling. Downright in WWE at that time, women's wrestling was fucking shitty. It really was. So Beth Phoenix really made people take notice of what women's wrestling could be in a time when WWE didn't really want to, focus on it and highlight it like Beth Phoenix wanted them to do. So you got to give her that. You got to give her the benefit of the doubt there. Okay? She kept it alive in an era where it was put on the back burner, and let's face it, given little attention by WWE. I think the current renaissance of the division happened in part because of women like Beth, Natty, Lay Cool, Mickie James, Candice Michelle, etc. Those were some leanly written years for the women's division, but they kept the torch lit for women like Charlotte, Bayley, Becky, Nia, and Sasha to show what badasses they could be today. The truest statement of your skill is what your peers think, especially in WWE, in that locker room. That's a tough audience to win over, and Beth had the respect of everyone for being a worker. So this year, that's honored, and that's great. But more important than all of that is the woman she is. Strong, independent, smart, continuing her education, and recently receiving her master's in forensic psychology, and now about to embark on getting a degree in clinical mental health. All while being a mother to our two little girls, Lyric and Ruby, and setting a sparkling example of what a woman can be if she believes in herself. In spite of today's political climate, so yeah, I'm pretty proud of her. So who cares about the WWE Hall of Fame? If there was a Hall of Fame for life, Beth would be the first ballot. So there you got it. That's what Edge said, end quote there, with the Beth would be in the first ballot. Listen, everybody made a huge deal over the fucking Hall of Fame. Okay? Does Beth Phoenix belong in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that Beth Phoenix belongs in the Hall of Fame. She was different, she was great at what she did, and she has a resume to match any woman on any fucking roster, in any promotion, in any fucking era. Okay? Beth Phoenix was, I would say, I would have to agree with Ed, she was somewhat of a renaissance when WWE was in this era of going out and finding fucking Kelly and all these fucking models who couldn't add 1 + 1. Oh, 1 + 1 equals 3. But I have 2 teeth. You know? Retards. But that's the type of guy, that's the type of woman that they wanted. They wanted a fucking bimbo. They wanted the bimbo who was either a waitress at some fucking low-end fucking diner, or some bimbo who was doing Cinemax and somewhat of a porno. They were looking for fucking scantily clad, thin, stick figure women with fucking big tits and a big ass and no brain. That's what they wanted. That's what John Laurinaitis wanted. Okay? John Laurinaitis was the one who told Beth Phoenix that, listen, you're not what we're looking for right now. So there you go. That's what they were looking for. Models. And everything transpired the way it did, and look at where we are now. Now WWE is taking women's wrestling seriously. You know, we got the Charlottes, the Beckys, the Sashas, the Asukas, the Amber Moons, and it's going to get better from there. They're going to add on top of that, and the women's division for all 3 brands is going to become plentiful. Believe me. But as far as the Hall of Fame goes, of course she's worthy. Of course she belongs in the Hall of Fame. Of course Chyna belongs in the Hall of Fame. Of course Vicky Guerrero belongs in the Hall of Fame. Of course Miss Elizabeth belongs in the Hall of Fame. But you guys gotta understand, this is not a traditional Hall of Fame. They don't give a fuck who you want in what year. At all. This is a Vince McMahon thing. If Vince McMahon wants you in, he's gonna put you in. I mean, look at what they're doing this year. You mean to tell me after all these years, now they finally came up with like, you know what? Okay, we're gonna put Ravishing Rick Rude in the fucking Hall of Fame. After all these fucking years, one of the legit greatest fucking characters that company has ever seen. Give me a fucking break, bro. The guy should have been in the Hall of Fame fucking 10 years ago. Same thing with Randy Savage. Guy fucking passed away. I remember exactly where I was and what I was doing, man. I was walking a fucking Capital One bank on 55th Street the fucking hour that Randy Savage was pronounced passed away. I was like in shock. I'm like, what the fuck? You know? Died while driving a vehicle. Supposedly had a heart attack. Crashed into a fucking tree. He was in the Hall of Fame. He should have been in the Hall of Fame well before that. No, but WWE waits 5 years after his fucking death to put him in the Hall of Fame. You know? The reason why they did that, and the reason why they're doing that with Chyna now, is because WWE doesn't want it to seem like, oh man, you know, we fucked up by not putting this guy in the Hall of Fame. Now he just passed away. They don't want to seem desperate, all because that he passed away. Oh, now we got to put him in the Hall of Fame. No, they're going to let time pass, and they're going to do what they got to do politically behind the scenes. They're going to they're going to jump him over. They're going to skip him year after year after year after year, and then they're going to put him in the Hall of Fame when they see fit. Not immediately after his death, because it's going to look bad, but after, several years after he passed. And that's exactly what they did. And they're going to do the same with Chyna. Chyna's not going in next year. Chyna's not going in 2019. Chyna's not going in 2020. Chyna is going to go in, but after the dust is finally settled and fucking everybody's forgotten about Chyna, the year that you least expect it, she'll go in. Jazz will go in. Michelle McCool will go in. Fucking Elizabeth will go in. Whoever's not in there, Guerrero will go in. Then Chyna will go in. Because it'll be 5 years after her passing. They're not going to put her in immediately the fucking year after she passed. Otherwise, it's gonna look bad. It's going to look fucking pathetic. And the fans will know what's up. Oh, because she died now, you want to put her in? Meanwhile, she's been retired from the sport. You could have put her in 5 years ago. That's why they're doing it. It's all a political agenda. This is not a legit Hall of Fame. Everything is politically driven. And you got to understand, this is something that WWE sells tickets for WrestleMania weekend. They're going to put in the people that you want to pay your money to come see. Why do you think Angle is headlining this year's Hall of Fame? Why do you think Sting was headlining this year's Hall of Fame? You know? He didn't do nothing in WWE. He had one fucking match and they put him in the Hall of Fame. Who cares? They did that because, oh, you want to buy tickets to the Hall of Fame? Come see Sting. That's all. So don't get your fucking, your underwear all twisted. Don't get your fucking, your attitudes all salty. It is a politically driven fucking agenda by WWE to sell tickets. And it's all Vince McMahon's little pet project. He's going to put in whoever the fuck he wants in. Simple as that. So next time someone's in the Hall of Fame and you don't agree with it or you think it's too early, just think of Vince McMahon and exactly what I said here. Don't worry about it. Reason why Braun Strowman backed away from The Undertaker on Monday Night Raw. Stupidity I'm hearing all fucking week. Oh, Strowman was buried by Reigns. They made him look weak on Monday Night Raw because he backed away from The Undertaker. How is backing away from The Undertaker making Strowman look weak? I mean, I don't get the logic of some people. Now, if you paid attention to what Braun Strowman did, he backed away, not in fear of The Undertaker, but he backed away because, you know what? This is The Undertaker. I'm not going to get involved in this. He's here for a specific reason. Braun Strowman and Undertaker actually had a head nod to one another as a sign of respect if you guys go back and watch that. It's a sign of respect head nod from both men. Almost like, you know what? I'll see you soon, bro. Take care of your business with this fucking asshole, Roman Reigns, and we'll get to do this again sometime soon. That's all it was. And then Strowman exited through the crowd. He didn't take his eyes off The Undertaker, not once. He didn't back away in fear. He didn't retreat because he was afraid. He backed away simply because, you know what? Yeah, I'll let you do what you want to do, bro. But there'll be a time for you and me. Believe me. That's all it was. Okay? But there's a reason why Strowman backed away from The Undertaker on Raw. Now, after that, I told you exactly what went down if you guys seen it. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. After the initial stare down, Strowman nodded and proceeded to back away from the ring. This left many fans confused. But, everybody thought Strowman was looking for a fight that night. Right? Strowman's there. He's the fucking monster among men. He's looking for a fight. The rumored reason floating around as to why WWE had Strowman back away is that Vince McMahon wanted to tease a future match between The Undertaker and Braun Strowman. So everybody's saying that The Undertaker's last WrestleMania is going to be this year. This year, he looked terrible. He looked awful. He's out of shape. But Vince McMahon apparently has got it up here in his mind, that a future match between The Undertaker and Braun Strowman is something that he may want to revisit. But everybody's saying The Undertaker's going to retire this year. So I don't know what's going to happen. But that's the reason. McMahon wanted to tease a future match between The Undertaker and Braun Strowman. Now, remember when we were all up in arms about, oh my God, fucking pass me the bleach, Undertaker versus Strowman. This is when Strowman was in the Wyatt family. This was Strowman pre-draft on Monday Night Raw. This was what Vince McMahon wanted for WrestleMania. Now, I want you to look back at what we, thought of with Strowman and Undertaker. Look at it now. It doesn't look too bad now, does it? Compared to what we're actually getting. Now we're getting Reigns versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. But now, the way Strowman has been developed, I wouldn't mind seeing Undertaker and Strowman over Undertaker and Reigns. That's just me. So, just think of that, how we went from fucking pissing all over Strowman and Undertaker a year ago. Look at where Strowman is now, and look at what we actually got at WrestleMania now with Reigns and Undertaker. Doesn't look too bad now, does it? Yeah, I know. So Vince McMahon changed his mind, ultimately on that rumored Strowman-Undertaker match, and he now is giving us Reigns and Undertaker instead. Giving The Undertaker a nod was not Strowman running away from a fight. It was a sign of respect to the dead man. It was also him acknowledging that their time to fight wasn't right now, but they will see each other in the future. If you think about it, it makes sense, because why else would The Undertaker have Strowman come to the ring? Or else why would WWE have Strowman come to the ring just to back down from The Undertaker? It doesn't make any fucking sense. If they wanted to set up Reigns and The Undertaker, they could have done it without Strowman being involved and all. But WWE wanted to at least kind of make Strowman look a little bit manly after having his balls cut off from Roman Reigns at Fastlane. If there is no eventual payoff for their stare down, it just makes Strowman look like a chump. So WWE, they better do something. They better follow it up. That's the second time that Strowman had his eyes on The Undertaker. If you guys remember, before the Royal Rumble, he was looking at the video screen in the back in the locker room as The Undertaker was in the ring, saying that I am going to be in the Royal Rumble. They cut away to that for a reason. They didn't do it because, Strowman looks cool standing there watching TV. No, they did it for a reason. This was done for a reason. Maybe at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, one of those two, being that those are the next two big pay-per-views to come out of the big four, maybe it happens at one of those events. So we will see what happens with the WWE, Undertaker, and Braun Strowman. Take all the rumors with a grain of salt, please, as always, but certainly something is brewing between Strowman and The Undertaker. So there you got it. It wasn't out of fear. It was Vince McMahon thinking that, it would be a sign of respect and a tease for a future match with The Undertaker. Sami Zayn gives his thoughts on part-timers taking up spots at WrestleMania. Did Sami Zayn say something that's going to get him even more buried on the card, or did he give the political answer like Sasha Banks gave last week about why people love the Raw Women's Division? Fuck out of here. Sami Zayn was recently interviewed by The Sun after the WWE Fastlane pay-per-view. During the interview, he had some interesting comments about part-time talent taking up spots of the full-time wrestlers when it comes to WrestleMania's season. A hot topic among wrestling fans is that some of the top talents in the company work their tails off all year to get their spots taken away at WrestleMania by part-time stars. The part-timers, on the other hand, have the time and name value and make sense to help sell the event. Zane gave his thoughts on the situation, and I quote, "Selfishly, of course, part of me thinks, hey, get the hell out of here. This is our show. We work here every week. It would be stupid to ignore that. I can say a lot about Kevin Owens, but I've also seen him busting his ass for the last 8 months as Universal Champion, doing street fights on live events, going through tables every night, getting beaten up. So personal feelings aside, you think, man, that guy works hard all year. He deserves to be rewarded when the time is right. He continued, and I quote, but at the same time, Brock Lesnar or Bill Goldberg coming in. The fans like it. It's good for business. It's good for the business. It's good for me in a roundabout way. Do I wish I was main eventing WrestleMania and not Bill Goldberg? Yes, absolutely. But you know, might it be better in some way to bring these guys in to help the business? If it's helping the business, it's helping me. Sami would also say, or go on to say, he would prefer to see a part-time talent getting paired up with a full-time wrestler at WrestleMania. So I guess that's, you know, kind of what he's really feeling and kind of political at the same time. Sami Zayn, good job, bro. You didn't get yourself in trouble with that one. But I think we can all agree that we're all sick of the part-timers at WrestleMania for one fucking year. You know, I don't want to see the Triple H's, the Goldbergs, the Lesnars, you know, the Undertakers. You know, the Undertaker has been there. He's a fucking legend. You know, you're not going to lump the Undertaker in the same vein as Brock Lesnar or Bill Goldberg. The Undertaker is fucking part of the reason people tuned into WrestleMania every year. You're not going to get rid of him. As far as I'm concerned, the Undertaker will have a fucking lifetime spot at WrestleMania. But Goldberg... and this situation with Goldberg and you know, Triple H. Yeah, Triple H, you know, I'd let Triple H get away with it because he is Triple H. You know, we all respect Triple H. We all love Triple H and what he's trying to do for the business and what he's trying to do for the company. I'm okay with Triple H. You know, Triple H's feud, you know, besides last year, is always decent. He always brings that level of intensity, that level of importance. But Bill Goldberg, I think people are really, really fucking sick of the Goldberg situation, giving him the Universal title, especially squashing a full-time guy that Sami Zayn said was busting his ass all year as champion, going through tables every night, street fights every night. So you can see where they're coming from. They want their own, the guys that are there all year long to get that spot, you know, the AJ Styles type guys to get that spot. But like I said, it sells the fucking show. It makes money for Vince, and it does good for the event, and in turn, hopefully that helps Sami Zayn as well. So what are you gonna do? If Zayn is making more money, then it's great. But for the fans, some of us get frustrated. There's nothing we could do about it. This is Vince McMahon's vision for WrestleMania, and it's going to be until his last dying breath. We're gonna go over the rumored matches right now, or the confirmed matches for Raw and SmackDown for WrestleMania 33, okay? This is what I believe this is both shows? I think this is both shows right now. Yeah, this is both shows. I'm sorry. I thought this was just SmackDown. My notes are all fucked up here. This week's episode of Raw and SmackDown Live saw several WrestleMania 33 matches get confirmation. It also teased a number of matches for the event. We are only a few weeks away from the big night, and we are officially on the road to WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. This is what the card is looking like right now. Sound off in the comments below. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this event and how it's shaping up and what you think of the card so far. Doesn't look bad, but listen, the way it was looking when we were early on in this discussion, I mean, WrestleMania from the early stages is looking a lot better than it's actually looking right now. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg for the Universal Championship. Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Looks like Luke Harper is completely out of the picture. Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the United States Championship. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte versus Bayley for the Raw Women's Championship. Triple threat. Looks like Nia Jax is not in those plans as of yet. She could always be added, but it looks like Nia Jax is not going to be added to this Raw Women's Championship match. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Sheamus and Cesaro versus Enzo or Big Cass. It's going to be a traditional 2-on-2 match. Sheamus and Cesaro will battle Enzo and Cass on Raw to see who fights Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. So it's going to be Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in what I believe is going to be Enzo and Big Cass. But as far as Sheamus and Cesaro go, I could see somewhere where there's a fuck finish on Monday and we get a triple threat match with these three teams. So it could be all three, or it could be a traditional match between Enzo and Cass and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. That's what I'm thinking. Alexa Bliss versus the entire SmackDown Live Women's Division. SmackDown Live Women's Championship. We don't know what type of match it will be. It might be a fatal five-way. I don't know. It has not been confirmed yet. We will get confirmation on that as the weeks go on. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Confirmed right now. Mojo Rawley, Apollo Crews, which I'm assuming he said it on Talking Smack, which I didn't watch. and Dolph Ziggler. Obviously, what we seen on Monday Night Raw, Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. Obviously, what we seen on Monday Night Raw looks like we might be getting Neville versus Austin Aries. That could always change. WWE could give us a ladder match with 6 cruiserweights, with those 2 also being involved in that. I would rather see a traditional one-on-one match. That's just me. I think Aries and Neville, like I said on Monday Night Raw, I was not sold. I was not too keen on Austin Aries coming to the main roster and being a face. But after I seen what he did with Neville, and I seen him wrestle on 205 Live, I think Austin Aries and Neville is going to be a damn good fucking match. One that could possibly be the best on this entire show. Baron Corbin versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. That's looking like it's confirmed pretty much. It's not confirmed as of WWE television, but it's looking like it is going to be confirmed. And I will have a report on that in a little bit about what type of match it could possibly be. Miz and Maurice versus Nikki Bella and John Cena. That's all but confirmed right now. We didn't get confirmation yet on TV, but it's looking like we were going to get that. Triple H versus Seth Rollins. And Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles, which is looking like the direction WWE is going. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 matches so far for WrestleMania 33. No Joe, no Zane, no Balor. So I don't know what's going on with Sami Zayn. I don't know if Finn Balor is going to be on the road to WrestleMania during the build to get a match. I'm hearing Balor could be a replacement last minute to go against Triple H if Rollins cannot go. Samoa Joe deserves to be on the show. I don't know if they're going to do Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe again, or maybe Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor. I don't know, just to add to the card. Who knows, man? But that is what the WrestleMania card is looking like right now. Not really blown away by it. There's some good matches on there. It looks good on paper. How it's going to be when WWE gives us the actual show remains to be seen. So I'm not all that excited right now. The one match that I really want to see out of all this is the Cruiserweights. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing Corbin Ambrose. And believe it or not, I am mildly intrigued by the AJ Styles Shane McMahon. I'm not going to fucking argue with you. I totally agree. AJ Styles belongs in the main event. He deserves to close out the show. He deserves to fucking be fighting for a championship. I understand that. But AJ Styles and Shane McMahon mildly intrigues me just because of how they're building it up after what we've seen following Smackdown this week. And I'm intrigued by the promotion and the promo that we could get from Styles and Shane McMahon. They could play a lot of different angles into this, man. They could play the fact that, listen, the McMahons didn't want to sign me 10 years ago. They passed on me. Now look at me. I'm here, and I'm fucking outperforming everybody on your active roster. You guys passed on me. The McMahons don't know talent. You know, they hold everybody back. They think they're know-it-alls of the wrestling industry. And Shane McMahon could fight back on his family's behalf, man. They could really turn this personal if they wanted to, bring some real-life element into it. I hope so. I honestly really hope so. I am mildly intrigued by the Shane McMahon-AJ Styles match. And the fact that AJ Styles is who he is, he's the greatest wrestler in the fucking world, you know, arguably. Shane McMahon at WrestleMania, you guys know he's going to fucking do whatever it takes to remember his match. He's going to fucking go out, risk life and limb. I think those are two combustible elements that really give us an intriguing possibility at WrestleMania. So don't sleep on it, man. Don't fucking pass on it. It's going to be good. Whether you like it or not, it's going to be an attraction. And I'm excited to see where they go with this. I really am. So we'll see what happens with Styles and Shane McMahon. Finally, guys, how long am I in this thing? Jesus Christ. When was that 2 hours? This will be the last story here. This will be the last story. Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. Intercontinental Championship, WrestleMania 33, looking like it's going to be. It's not confirmed yet. All signs are pointing to that. But as what we've seen so far with the attacks on Baron Corbin's behalf to Dean Ambrose, throwing him through electrical equipment over Jack Swagger's cookies. Cookies were unharmed. On Tuesday, he attacked Dean Ambrose with a lead pipe. On the March 7th episode of Smackdown Live, Baron Corbin told Dean Ambrose that he wanted to take everything from him, including his Intercontinental Championship. The two have been feuding for the past several weeks, and a WrestleMania match seems all but confirmed. Corbin would take out Ambrose with a steel pipe backstage on March 7th, and proceed to drop the forks of a forklift onto the throat and ribs of Ambrose. Ambrose was sent to a medical facility for further evaluation. There are some rumors going around that Corbin's vicious display on SmackDown was the beginning of what will lead to a gimmick match at WrestleMania 33. The weapons indicate that we could be seeing a street fight, false count anywhere, or something of that nature on the big stage. Ambrose faced off in a street fight against Brock Lesnar at last year's WrestleMania. The match was considered a disappointment by many. Ambrose later said on the Stone Cold podcast that it was met with laziness, and when he was coming up with the match and the formation of the match with Brock Lesnar, he called Brock Lesnar lazy. Brock's gonna be Brock, he said. I had a vision of the match to be as crazy as possible. I went to every type of person pitching ideas. I put so much effort and work in, and I was met with laziness, end quote. It looks like WWE could be trying to right the wrong of last year with potential street fight between Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin. Ambrose should be working with someone like Corbin under these type of situations, and Ambrose should not have any difficulties working with someone like Corbin in this type of situation. He wants to make an impact in his first singles match at WrestleMania. Hopefully they allow Ambrose to use some of his crazy ideas that he had last year for his match against Lesnar. So that is where they're thinking of going with Ambrose and Corbin. I love that idea. I know the fact that this is going to be Baron Corbin's first WrestleMania, you got to realistically think that, listen, this guy's going to want to fucking go out there and steal the show. He's going to have that adrenaline pumping. He's going to fucking go out there and say, you know what? Listen, Camping World Stadium, I am the next big thing here. He's going to go out there and try to prove himself. He's going to do something that people are going to remember at the end of the night. I could certainly see that from Baron Corbin. You know, Baron Corbin's not Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, I don't know what his problem was last year. Maybe it is Brock being Brock, but we all know that he was trying to get ready for his UFC return at UFC 200 against Mark Hunt. So that might have factored into him not wanting to take too much risks in the match, but it was a really shitty match. It was a glorified squash match for Dean Ambrose as he got destroyed by Brock Lesnar. It was fucking 10 minutes of nothing. So much potential there led to nothing. But Ambrose and Corbin, I could see this being one of the highlights of the night, especially if it's false count anywhere. I pitched the idea of, you know, them doing a Goldust Roddy Piper from WrestleMania years back in that fucking Hollywood street fight. Something like that, man. I want to see some fucking brutality. I want to see some fucking, you know, brutal spots. I want to see two guys who are hungry to go out there and steal the show and do what it takes to entertain the fans. Just get away as far as possible from what you did last year. Let these guys off the leash. You let, especially Corbin, let him go out there and perform the way he thinks he should be at WrestleMania. Plain and simple. I think it's going to be a great match. It's one of the matches I'm looking forward to most. And the build has been very good, man. I'm very excited about it, and I'm very excited to see the growth of Baron Corbin in 2017. Thank you guys so much. I am JD. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Off the Script. We turned the sour first hour, that sadness, that heartbreak with those sub-stories, and, you know, me giving you my personal take on the week into hopefully what I think entertains you for the second half of the podcast, like I always do, man. Told you I'd turn it around and give you guys the fucking best wrestling podcast right here on YouTube.com. If you guys are listening on iTunes and Podbean, leave a 5-star rating on iTunes, man. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the show. Follow me on there. Automatically gets notifications right to your device. Same thing with Podbean. Follow me on Podbean. Automatically gives you guys notifications of when there's a new episode live on the site. And check out everything that I mentioned in the video in the beginning. Everything you guys need is linked down in the description below. That description is for you guys. Take advantage. Go get the new shirt. Patreon, Audible. Check out the videos that you might have missed all week as I busted my ass. And I will continue busting my ass all weekend long here, right here on the channel. I am JD. Thank you guys so much. Hit that fucking thumbs up as hard as you possibly can. And I'll see you guys right back here for Saturday, episode 160, part number 2 of Off the Script. Talk to you later.